First reviews for the biggest film release since Bond are out. The Batman is out on Friday across the West Midlands. It's been directed by Matt Reeves. It's a whole new interpretation, starring Robert Pattinson as Bruce Wayne and Batman, with a cast that includes Andy Serkis, Colin Farrell and John Turturro. And looking at the trailers, it's pretty dark, gritty and brutal in places.
Fear is a tool. But when that light hits the sky, it's not just a call. It's a warning. I've been trying to reach you. Fire the gun!
Let's go and talk to Van Connor, top film critic. He's seen it. Don't worry, it's going to be spoiler-free, this, I think. Hello, Van.
Hello, Paul. Yeah, you have to keep this one spoiler-free. I mean, the one spoiler that I think we're all okay with is the runtime, though, because whether critics like or loathe or love even this movie, the one thing we can all agree on, even in these uncertain times, is this movie is way too long. But I think it's very good, though.
Well, some of the reviews, Batty's best, the Cape Crusaders' welcome return, dull return to Gotham is a riddle with no answers. That's one from the Times. Holy cramp, Batman, why is your new movie 3 hours long? Yeah. From the trailers I've seen, Robert Pattinson looks as though he hasn't slept for 6 months.
Do you know, I will say this about, in my opinion, I will say this about Robert Pattinson. He's a great Batman. He's a pretty great Batman. He's a terrible Bruce Wayne, though. I mean, no spoilers. I'm keeping this very spoiler-free, but just objectively, it is 5 solid minutes of the runtime of this movie before you get to a shirtless Bruce Wayne wearing guy liner shouting, "You're not my real dad," at Alfred the butler. And you think, yeah, that's why they got our Pats, isn't it? That's it. But he's a pretty good Batman. I liked him as Batman.
A new take, dark, gritty, 15 certificate, isn't it? So quite violent?
Well, the thing is, Batman's been becoming increasingly violent for God knows how long now. It seems like ever since The Dark Knight, well, not The Dark Knight, even Batman Begins. From Batman Begins onwards, popular culture's embrace of the Batman. I don't know when they added this "the" thing, by the way, but it now seems like the every interpretation it's just the Batman rather than he was just called Batman. Where do they keep adding this "the" from? But they seem to keep adding an extra level of sort of psychosis and violence. By the time we got to Ben Affleck, after all the Nolan movies and the Arkham games, by the time we got to Ben Affleck, we had what seemed like this roided up CrossFit bro, who could just merrily snap guys in half here, there, and everywhere. And you get to this one, and this is more of a sort of halfway point between the sort of outright thuggery of the Affleck era and something a bit closer to the smarts and the psychology of the Bale era. It's kind of in between, I would say.
Yes, and we have got more than one villain in this, haven't we?
There are several villains. It takes its cues from the same comic book that The Dark Knight did back in 2008, which is called The Long Halloween, which is a sort of mystery thriller story that intersects with various different Batman villains along the way. So it kind of draws from that same material, same as The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight supplanted, it sort of infused the Joker as its villain. This one does the Riddler and like a bomb threat, and it works. It's certainly a unique story. I will say that about it. It's as far as its violence goes, it does fit the darker tone. This is sort of more like a gothic fairy tale version of a Batman, though.
For those that have been regular watchers of Batman when it was on TV here, whether it's the movies, are they going to enjoy this one?
I can tell you that the fans of the Adam West era might want to sit this one out.
What's wrong with Adam West? I love Batman on TV.
I love the Adam West era. It's such a soft spot, but this is decidedly, in terms of the darkness of the sort of visual aesthetic and the tone of it, I would say take that sort of real world grimy street level sensibility that Christopher Nolan had and the precise, it looked very HD all the time, and then infuse that with something gothic style of Tim Burton from his 1989 and 1991 1992 sequels, and then sort of line it up with like Seven. It kind of plays like Seven.
Van Connor, who's seen it and likes it. You do like it, don't you?
I do like it. I think it's really good. I'm looking forward to seeing it again. I just wish it wasn't quite so long.
Yeah. Van, good to have you on the show. Nearly 3 hours. Bear that one in mind.